a private service that you can use where you write 750 words a day. They're not perfect. You don't edit them. It's sort of like barfing on a paper. It is a writing meditation. And I am using 750words.com as a way to build the skill of writing every day. And writing on 750words.com at least 5 days a week is a goal. And by achieving that goal, I am taking steps every single week in the direction of my massive, huge dream of writing a book that becomes one of the top 10 most read personal development books of this decade. So do you see that? Okay, good. So for those of you that are just joining us on Facebook and Twitter and YouTube, our live stream was interrupted, and now we are back, and we are in the middle of taking questions for Best Decade Ever. If you're not in the program, you can get in it anytime. It's totally free. Go to melrobbins.com/bestdecade. Boom, you're in. Make sure you join the Facebook group because there's almost 40,000 people in it now, and the amount of coaching and support that's going on in that community is absolutely incredible. So I'm taking your questions at the end of week one. I'm now going to take a question from Bridget from our text community. Text community is a group of people that have decided that they would love to receive text messages from me. You can sign up for that at 617-284-0725. There is zero cost to getting it. That's 617-284-0725. It's the fastest way to get in touch with me. I check it every day. And it's a really cool, intimate way to stay connected. So Bridget asked, does your dream always have to bring you money or a career, or can it just be a way of living life? I'm really caught up with that. I love this question. No, your dream does not, and in some cases should not have money involved with it. And one of the things that I love about this question is that society has created a definition of ambition that is attached to success and money. And there are so many ways to be ambitious and to dream in your life. Maybe your dreams have to do with life balance. Maybe your dreams have to do with where you live. Maybe your dreams have to do with how you live your life. Maybe your dreams have to do with health or volunteering, all of which has nothing to do with money. And one of the reasons why I think it's very difficult for you to fully embrace your biggest dreams that have nothing to do with success, career, money, is because it requires something of you to dedicate time and energy to pursuing things that don't earn money. You have to believe that you're worthy enough of these things, even though they don't make money. And I think for women in particular, this is a very challenging thing because women are, based on the culture that we've grown up in, trained to take care of everybody. We're trained to put everybody else first. We're trained to put ourselves last. And so if you're a woman that's watching this, I guarantee you're probably last on your own list. And so one of the coolest things about having a dream that has nothing to do with money or a career is it means you're investing in yourself. And I guarantee you, if you're a woman, you're going to have a more challenging time than most men in doing that, because when the dream has money and career attached to it, the money and the career somehow validate the importance of that dream. When there's no money and no career associated with that dream, the validation has to come from you. And if you struggle with self-worth issues, if you struggle with putting yourself first, if you struggle with pursuing things that matter to you, this is one of the most important reasons why you need to have dreams on your list that are enormous, that have nothing to do with money. Because the simple act of writing down a dream like that, of having more quiet time in your life, of having a meditation practice, of living with kindness and forgiveness, whatever it is that that dream may be, it's going to require you to validate that dream simply by working on it, which means you're validating your own self-worth. So I absolutely love that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Let's go to another question. From Angie, why is it so easy to fill out limiting beliefs, but almost paralyzing to figure out an alternative, think this, not that? How many of you are having trouble with this? It's very easy to see where you doubt yourself, but it's super hard to come up with the alternative thought that you're going to substitute. Well, the reason why it's hard is because you actually believe these thoughts. And these thoughts have become patterns, and they've become habits, and they've become so prevalent in your life that they're almost like the co-host of your life. If you think about it, you are the star of your life. But if the supporting actor is a limiting belief that constantly tells you that you're not good enough, or that you're not worthy, or that you'll never succeed, then it's no wonder that you believe it, because the co-star of your life is your limiting beliefs. And so it's not easy to change your limiting beliefs, but it is simple. And it begins with you identifying them and then substituting them. So the most, I think, effective way of beginning the process of teaching yourself how to identify a limiting belief and then come up with your own substitute positive belief as a way to change the negative pattern in your mind is to use the power of objectivity. So write down all your limiting beliefs. And I'm going to go through this in detail in just a second. Write down all your limiting beliefs. I'm not worthy. I'm not good enough. Nothing works out for me. Nobody's going to love me. Whatever the fuck it is that you think that's bringing you down. And then you can ask yourself this: what would Mel say? If Mel were sitting here across from me, what would Mel say? Another thing you can do, you can write the opposite of what you're thinking. And you may not believe it. It's okay. Because what we're doing is training you in a new pattern. And one of the things that Angie asked is she wanted to know, what were my limiting beliefs? So yesterday we sent out this workbook, the Best Decade Ever Toolkit. It's in your email. If you go to the Facebook group, Best Decade Ever with Mel Robbins, it's also listed on the files. You'll find the download for this. Check your junk email if you didn't get it. But so my limiting beliefs. So I want to have the #1 talk show of the decade. And the #1 talk show of the decade right now seems to be Ellen. And so it's interesting because a lot of my limiting beliefs, I think, are provoked by the fact that I'm the newcomer in a space that I have huge dreams of making a mark in and dominating. So one of my limiting beliefs is someone's already done it. How many of you have that one? My dream has already been done. So my substitute thought, because this feels kind of true, doesn't it? Somebody's already done it. And then my substitute thought, the think this, not that, is, well, they haven't done it my way yet. It hasn't been done by me yet. Do you see what I mean? So somebody else has done it. Okay, I get it. It hasn't been done by me yet. It'll never happen. It'll never happen. How many of you have that limiting belief? It'll never happen. My substitute belief, it hasn't happened yet. So I'm acknowledging that it hasn't happened, but I'm adding on the yet as a way to keep my mind in the positive. It didn't happen last time, so it's not going to happen this time. How many of you have that one? Yeah. This is what I say. I wasn't ready then. I'm ready now. Because it didn't happen last time because I didn't know everything I know now. I'm ready now. I don't deserve it. How many of you have this limiting belief? I don't deserve it. My thought is, if I work hard, I'll earn it. Do you see that? So it flips from a statement where I'm bashing my self-worth, I don't deserve it, to a statement about putting in the effort. If I work hard, I'll earn it. Oh, I've got this story that I'm the bad news bears, that I'm literally like the person with the worst equipment, and I'm the underdog, and I'm underfunded. And Why does it have to be so hard? And why does it seem so much easier for everybody else? And blah, 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 blah. And I flip that into, I love being underestimated. And I love being the underdog. In a very weird way, as much as it exhausts me, it also empowers me. Here's a specific limiting belief. How the fuck am I going to compete with Ellen? I can't compete with Ellen. Especially when she's been at it for 20 years. She has the budget of God and an army of people that are supporting her. I mean, there was something she did announced yesterday on social media that I was so like, oh, of course. And I was so jealous. She announced a partnership with Starbucks where she's encouraging people to pay for somebody's coffee using the Starbucks app behind them in line. And then take a video of it and upload it. And they're going to bring them on the show. And I was like, oh, will I ever get there? Will I ever get to do cool stuff like that? And the answer is yeah. She proves it's possible. And also, I can take the 10 years and be like, and in 20 years, I won't even recognize the cool stuff I'll be able to do if I put in the work. So take that jealousy or somebody else or whatever and say it proves it's possible. Now put in the work. So those are some of my limiting beliefs, and that's how you can do it. And by the way, if you can't do that exercise successfully on your own, post in the Facebook group and tell people this is your limiting belief. Can somebody help you come up with a substitute positive belief so that you can think this, not that? Ask somebody in your life to help you. And then what you do is when you find yourself going down the route of that negative thought, it'll never happen. You're going to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, use the 5-second rule to interrupt the negative belief. And then you are going to insert the positive belief. It hasn't happened yet. That's it. Just keep going. All right. From Tiffany, what if you don't have the money you need to buy the things, supplies you need to get the dream business off the ground? First of all, I don't believe that that's actually true. I think that we tend to hide behind gear when really what is required to start a business is grit. I don't know what kind of business you want to start, Tiffany, but I guarantee you there are ways for you to borrow equipment, or maybe you can sell some things that you don't use or don't need, and you can get a little bit money and get some used equipment, or maybe you can do it without the equipment. But I don't know that the equipment is what you need, because I don't know what kind of business you're looking to have. But I do know that you can start in a smaller way and you can start earning a little bit of money. And then you can eventually earn the money to get the equipment. You can also finance the equipment. You can also find cheaper equipment. You can also borrow equipment. And so don't let equipment and gear be the thing that becomes the excuse for why you can't do it. Find the grit to continue to build the skills, find the grit to continue to network and meet people that are launching these kinds of businesses or in the space that you want to be in. Find the grit to keep moving forward. And there's no doubt in my mind that the money and the equipment will magically appear. What other ones do we want to do, Danielle?
This one from Tracy.
Yep.
On Facebook.
Okay.
What do you do if following your dreams means others have to make sacrifices? I'm the primary breadwinner in my family. I make 6 figures, and my dream would require me to take a new job that would be a massive pay cut. How do I get over the guilt?
So, what do you do when your dream impacts other members of your family? So this is a woman who is the bread earner for her family. She makes 6 figures, and in order to pursue her dream, she will be accepting a job with a pay cut. At the end of the day, your family wants one thing for you. They want you to be happy. And if you were to sit down and work out on paper what it means and what it doesn't mean for you to take a pay cut, you can then sit down with your family and explain that this is something that you're asking for their support in doing, because in giving you their support, which may mean we're not going to go on vacation this year. It may mean that you're going to have to get a babysitting job if you want to do club sports, because you're going to help pay for it, which, by the way, is a wonderful thing for your kids to do. By you talking to your family about why it is that you are so drawn and called forth to pursue this dream and asking for their support, you will get a level of buy-in that removes the guilt. We are currently grappling with a big change in our family right now because our son wants to go to high school in Vermont. Now, I work in New York and I have a business in Boston. And this is not a boarding school. It happens to be a school in a town that we've been going to for years and years and years because Chris's family lives up there. But it would mean a major change in where we live. And so our son is doing this with us right now. He's sitting down and saying, this is something that really matters to me. This is a dream of mine. How could we make it work? And it's been a lot of up and down and roller coaster emotional conversations of what it would look like to make a massive change for the next 48 months and the sacrifices that I would need to make and that Chris would need to make and how that would impact our family. And so that is the way that you make a decision. And by the way, we're not decided yet on what we're doing. We're going through the roller coaster, but by God, I am impressed by my son, who's 14 years old, who is advocating for his dream. And when somebody that you love advocates for their dream, the guilt transfers a little bit, because when you love somebody, what do you want for them? You want them to be happy. And you feel guilty not doing what it takes if what it takes is reasonable and doable and manageable. You're the one that feels guilty for not supporting the people in your life. So I think you work it out on paper. You really understand what that sacrifice means. You really understand what you're asking. And then you start holding family meetings and you do a lot of listening and you do a lot of problem solving. And I bet that this is going to be a lot easier decision than you think. All right. How about another one?
From Daniel on our community text platform.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do in cases where your two dreams seem to contradict each other? For instance, I want to write a best-selling book and start my own business, but I feel like unless I give all of my time to one of them, I won't be putting full effort into either. I also fear that if I devote all my time to one dream, and if it turns out it's not for me, I'll regret having focused on the other one.
Gotcha. So we've got Daniel on our texting platform, and the texting platform, if you want to join that for free, is 617-284-0725. What do I do if I have two dreams and they seem to contradict one another? Well, interestingly, in week 2 of our program, which begins on Monday, you're going to have the weekend off to catch up, to enjoy the Facebook group, to really reflect on the materials and the things that you've learned in week 1 of Best Decade Ever, where we've talked about dreaming bigger and why it's so important and how hard it is, and your limiting beliefs. Week 2 is about how we pick a dream and we use it as a theme to anchor you this year and call you forward. I personally don't believe that there are dreams that are at odds with each other. I believe that there are dreams that happen on different timelines. And so you're correct that if you were to put all kinds of energy into both things at the same time, it would have a detrimental effect on both of those things. And so what you need to do, in my opinion, is pick the primary dream that you're going to focus the majority of your efforts on this year in terms of moving it down the field. You don't have to achieve it this year. You're just going to pick this as the thing that you're going to move down the field. And then pick a secondary thing that you're working on that continues to allow you to grow. So for example, I can tell you personally that a business that you want to build takes way more time than writing a book. And so if you're really called forward and you have a dream to launch this business in this decade, I would make that the primary thing that you're exploring this year. That said, something like a book can be advanced through a small daily practice. I was sharing earlier in the live stream before it cut out, so I'm going to say it again. I've recently discovered a website that I love. It's free, which you know is one of the criterias that I love. I'm going to write it down because it's odd to say. It's 750words.com. So for those of you that want to write a book, 750words.com, something I've just started using. And I click the link, I go to my private account, and then I just start typing. And what are you doing? You're typing 750 words every time you log on. And I'm trying to do it 5 days a week because I want to build the skill of writing every day. Why? Well, because I want to write an international best-selling phenomenon in the personal development space called The 5 Decisions. Oh, and right behind that is the 5-second diet book, because we are already testing the 5-second diet and seeing insane results with people, because the 5-second diet isn't about what you eat. It's about how you think about yourself and food and your self-worth. And those changes are made 5 seconds at a time. But so there are things that there are dreams that require that you should make primary. Pick one. That's launching your business. And then there are dreams that you can inch forward every day, like writing a book and working on developing the skills. So I don't think dreams are ever at odds. I just think dreams occur at different speeds and different timelines. And it's up to you to figure out which one is going to take the primary role in 2020 and which one is going to happen on a longer timeline. There you go. All right. Any other questions?
Yeah, Sharon from our Facebook group.
Sharon from our Facebook group.
I think I can be successful with what I want to do because it's something I'm extremely passionate about.
Awesome.
But I also feel like I'm sabotaging myself because I know I will be judged by my family members and I don't know how to push past their negativity.
Okay.
What strategies do you have?
See, the thing about your family when they don't get on board is that they don't. One of two things is happening. Either they don't truly understand at an emotional level how important this is to you. And if they don't understand that, that's on you. And so before you just dismiss them as negative, it's amazing how one conversation at a dining room table with your family, where you open up for real about how their ridicule and their lack of support makes you feel isolated, beaten down, and incredibly sad. And if you get emotionally vulnerable with your family and you explain the impact that their lack of support and ridicule has been having on you, it will change immediately. You see, I think a lot of us have family dynamics where there's sarcasm and joking and shrugging things off, and we don't have the real timeout conversations where we share the impact of those behaviors in certain chapters of our life. And so I think you might be surprised if you were to have a very vulnerable conversation with your family about how their behavior is impacting you and what specifically you need from them so that you can feel supported. So that's number one. Number two, even if you have that conversation, your family might not ever be that enthusiastic about what you're doing. That's okay. You can't change them. You can get the ridicule to stop. You might not get the cheerleading that you need, but you'll get the ridicule to stop. And one of the reasons why a lot of times family members don't get excited about dreams is because it's very confronting when you change. It's very confronting when you want to do things that impact other people. I mean, just look at what's happening in my life right now. I love my son. I freaking would do anything for the kid. I want him to have the most extraordinary high school experience because he has gone to 3 schools in the last 5 years because of a significant issue with dyslexia and dysgraphia and executive functioning and just his learning style. And he's in an incredible school right now, but it ends in 8th grade. And his dream is to go to school in Vermont. Holy shit. At first I was excited, and then I got really clear about the impact on all of us, and I got very scared about all the uncertainty, and we're still sorting through it. It's not that I'm not excited for him. It's not that I don't want to support him. It's that his dream really impacts our lives. It'll be interesting to see where we end up in terms of where he ends up going to high school, but change is a process. And if you're the one changing, you got to realize it creates ripples that impact other people. And that's okay. People can be upset by your change. They can be confronted by your change. The important thing is that you just keep talking about the impact that it's having on you. And you keep making specific requests about what it is that you need specifically from your family so that you feel more supported. And so it's been a back and forth for us. You know, what I said is, in order to get on board with this decision around Vermont, I need us to just look at a few more schools around here to make sure that this is 1,000% the right decision, because it just felt a little quick. And that's a reasonable request. I'm getting off tangent here. So, you know, I relate to this because I feel like I'm on the whoa, 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 whoa end of, not end, but I'm the one going whoa, 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 whoa on somebody that I love's dreams. But you've got to be open to the conversation. If they're ridiculing you, it's a totally different thing. You got to ask that to stop, and you got to explain how it's impacting you. If they just have concerns, you got to believe in your dreams enough to enroll them and to have space for them to feel nervous and for you to still bring them along with you. And if they're just anti, then you're going to have to figure out how you pursue it without really engaging them in it. All right.
Another question?
Yeah, one more. Yeah, let's go.
This is from Andy, and a lot of people in the Facebook group and
Okay.
text have also asked this. How do you balance your dreams with your real life? Sickness, trauma, grief, a sick parent. I'm at that stage right now, and it feels really hard to dream.
Oh, God. How do you balance your dreams with the realities of life? You may be dealing with an illness, sickness, a sick parent. You know, I got to come back to that Trevor Noah passage. Let me read this to you. I think I have it right here. Let me see if I can pull up today's newsletter.
If you don't, I can airdrop it to you. I have it.
God bless you. Yeah, go ahead and airdrop it to me. I think I have it right here, but let me see. New decade, new letter. Oh, okay. Oh, it just went out. Okay. Here we go. So I read a bunch of books over the course of the holiday. It's my goal to read a book a week. And it's been really amazing. And one of the books that I read was Trevor Noah's jaw-dropping memoir, Born a Crime. And it's all about him growing up as a biracial kid, which was actually a crime to be biracial, because it was a crime for people of different races to have sex and to have children. And he grew up during apartheid. And there was this passage that really struck me, and I talk about it in today's newsletter that just went out. Not for this program, but if you want to be on our newsletter list, go to melrobbins.com, and right on the homepage, there's a sign up for the newsletter. Here's what he writes. We tell people to follow their dreams, but you can only dream of what you can imagine. And depending upon where you come from, your imagination can be quite limited. Growing up in Soweto, our dream was to put another room on our house, maybe have a driveway, maybe someday a cast iron gate at the end of the driveway, because that is all we knew. But the highest rung of what's possible is far beyond the world you can see. And then he writes about how my mother showed me what was possible. the thing that always amazed me about her life was that no one showed her. She did it on her own. And what she showed Trevor was possible is she raised him to see a world outside of the ghetto in Soweto way before apartheid had ended. She was raising him for a world in which apartheid was over before they could even wrap their minds around the possibility that it could happen. And so, whatever it is that you're dealing with in your life right now, it can put blinders on you because you have to deal with your aging parent. You have to deal with the illness that's in front of you. But it is so critical that you still dream. Why? Because dreams transport you from the day to day. Dreams give you a beacon to look up, because dreams will remind you that the situation that you're facing right now is temporary. Dreams will remind you that even if the situation isn't temporary, let's say that you've got some horrendous degenerative disease, and so it's going to get worse, not better. Dreams still give you a purpose to live a bigger life despite what you're dealing with. Now, you may not have the bandwidth to pursue your dreams because of how sick your parents are. That's okay. It won't always be like this. But it is critical that as a form of self-love, as a form of self-care, that you still build the skill of holding space for your dreams and writing those dreams down every day and thinking about those dreams and reading about those dreams, because they will help you move through the chapter of the life that you're in more powerfully, more grounded, and more fulfilled. All right, I think we're done. All right, well, so that wraps our first Q&A. Thank you for your patience with the technical challenges we had with the live stream. I would imagine our team might put it together and repost it and pin it at the top or something like that, because our team is amazing. I want you to enjoy your weekend. Next week, we jump into the thing that you're already starting to ask about, which is, all right, I've been writing my dreams down, 5 big dreams. I've been thinking about my life. Now, how the hell do I pursue them? We're going to talk about how you take those dreams that you're going to continue to write down in week 2 and how we start to take action on them. And just like this week, there's really only one assignment. All your assignment was this week is to write down the 5 dreams every single day, the same assignment every day. Next week, there's one assignment that you got to find time for at some point during the week. It's a really easy yet profound week, and I cannot wait to see you on Monday. So I hope you have an amazing weekend. I will see you in the Facebook group. In case nobody else tells you, please let me be the person that tells you today that I love you and I believe in you and I believe in your dreams, and your ability to do the work to pursue them and to improve your life. And that's why I'm here. That's why we created this program, Best Decade Ever. And that's why we do what we do. We do it for you. And I want to thank you for showing up, because reading your posts in this Facebook page, getting your emails, getting your texts on our killer text platform, it is such a gift, and it makes such a difference in my life. So thank you so much for being here.